Before we start today's battle report, I thought I would tell you a little bit more about the project that we are going to be doing for the channel. It's a new project for the channel, and it is involving some 10mm armies that we bought from ROK Minis that are based on Warhammer Fantasy Battles in anticipation of the Old World that's coming up. And we're looking to play through some of the lore and the stories from the Old World, starting off with a little bit of Skaven and Bretonnia. So I hope you enjoy this. Let us know how it goes down. We're using the Kings of War rules to start with, and I'm sure we'll dip into Warhammer the Old World when it comes out. But please do let us know how you think it goes, and onto the story.
A peaceful farm in Quinel's was thrown into chaos when a warp stone fragment crashed into the earth, sending shockwaves through the surrounding area. The farmers, who had been tending to their crops and livestock, were now huddled together, watching in horror as a group of Skaven emerged from the shadows, their beady eyes gleaming with excitement at the sight of the glowing green rock. But they were not the only ones who had come to investigate. The king and his retinue had also arrived on the scene, their armor glinting in the sunlight as they surveyed the situation. The villagers knew that a battle was imminent, and they could only hope that the king's forces would be enough to fend off the Skaven and protect their homes.
Hello and welcome to our first teeny tiny soldiers story, set in the Warhammer Old World here. And to tell you what's happening on this initial sort of tester game, Wayne's going to say what the scenario is and how this has been set up.
So we're on the border of Quinel's, which is in Bretonnia. So this is right down in the south east of Bretonnia, and the Forest of Lauren borders onto it. So a warpstone meteor has landed near to a farm, as you can see on the table, and it is a couple of cows have gone up to the meteors. They've killed over and died from there, obviously, because it's.
We didn't have any dead cow miniatures, did we?
They get in the way. The farmers then sent messengers off to local forces in Quinel's, and as they arrive to investigate what's happened, because it's very suspicious activity, as the Bretonnian forces arrive, so do the Skaven. And obviously the Skaven are there because they want this warpstone. They want to get hold of it as quickly as possible and take it back to use for their nefarious plots and schemes and devices and so forth. So I'm going to go through my my army list. Characters first. So I have got a warlord. In the Kings of All rules, he's a war chief, but for Warhammer purposes, he's a warlord. I have a warlock as a warlock engineer for Warhammer. A master assassin. Kings of War is a master scurrier, and this guy looks like a master moulder. He looks very much like Throt the Unclean. I'm going to use him as a plague priest. So in the Kings of War Ratkin, there isn't a plague priest or plague monks. So I've written a unit data sheet for them with the appropriate points values added. I've also done that for Poison Wind Globadiers. So I also have a horde of clan rats with spears, a unit of clan rats with spears, a doom wheel. I have a unit of plague monks, a regiment of plague monks I should say, and I have a horde of plague monks. And then my final choice is in the Kings of War it's a spewer, a weapons team spewer, but it's a warp fire thrower.
And that is the Skaven.
That's 1,500 points.
Okay, and facing them, we have the forces of Bretonnia. Not quite as prepared, so we've got a few less points here. But the king has taken a stroll, so we have king on Hippogriff here. So he is the monarch, and then with him he's got a hero or a lord on Pegasus, and then the retinue of the king is 3 Pegasus riders, and then of course it's Bretonnia, so we have some household knights, 2 regiments of household knights, and then backing them up we have some men-at-arms, so foot guarding Kings of War. The local villagers have come out to assist against the Skaven, so we've got the local villagers, the peasantry, and some peasant archers regiment, and all regiments, no hordes there. So that is the forces of Bretonnia that have come to investigate and find the Skaven there, and battle ensues. Yeah. So deployment.
Yep. 3.
Okay, so we are deployed, and what I've looked to do here is I've got quite a weak centre, so I've got my archers and my peasantry in the middle, and then I've gone for both regiments of knights, which hit really hard on this flank, although I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with woods and things like that, with the hero on Pegasus for inspiring, and then I've got a block of foot guard, the men-at-arms, who are a really good anvil, along with my flying units that can get around the board and hopefully do some hitting in the flank.
So for me, I've got the big block of clan-rats, the horde of clan-rats, with the warlord for inspiring. The doom wheel, hopefully I can carve a bit of a hole in the middle and then move around. The plague priest here has rallying 1, but only for the plague monks. It only affects the plague monks, so hopefully you can keep them in the battle for as long as possible. And yeah, I think the clan-rats on the side here might be a bit of a speed hump to slow you down a bit, but we'll see. Okay.
So here we go into the first turn of the game, and
6.
Wayne's go first.
I'm going to let... I don't know why, but I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. I will
There's no
move up.
There's no tactical genius involved there. Just...
Okay, so that's my very exciting first turn. So the knights have moved up and are just sort of taking care of, if anything comes into range, they can charge through. These knights may be looking to go round these woods. These woods are a bit of a pain, actually. And then I've just advanced just normal rate, but I'm out of range for my bows, so there's no shooting with my bows. The men-at-arms are moving in towards, they've moved up and pivoted, and I've done an advance run with my Pegasus Knights, who actually will pivot. Can they? They can't pivot. If
no, they
do
can't
that.
if they
can't
at the double. So if they've gone at the double, they can just go
Yeah.
forward.
Okay, so onto, so no shooting, no melee, onto Wayne's turn.
Okay, so I've moved up the plague monks because they kind of are crazy. they've gone straight for the warpstone, straight up the middle. The big clan rats unit here has kind of been a bit more cautious and seen the Pegasus Knights coming up on the flank, so it's ready to take that charge. Move my characters hopefully into safe-ish spots so they can affect the game as it progresses, and I've just been a bit more cautious over here with the plague monks and the clan rats, because the knights do hit hard. They have thunderous charge and so forth, so they will probably get through those units pretty quick. So I'm gonna, and then the Globadiers, I've kept them in the back. Hopefully they will affect the game later on with their shooting and so forth.
Okay, swinging back to my turn. Already not quite sure. I think he's played it quite well the way he's sort of enclosed his forces and I've spread out, so we'll see whether that works or not. Maybe I'm sucking him into some sort of amazing tactic here.
I think I'm being a bit more cautious because flyers are really good in this game. Their manoeuvrability is great, especially later on in the game where they can kind of jump over units and charge in flanks and so forth. Which really swung our last game, didn't it?
Yeah.
When we played, it was really interesting actually how it played out.
Okay, so in that turn, I could be making some big mistakes, but we'll see. So my knights have sort of headed off in the direction of the hills over there, but I'm trying to do a couple of outflanking manoeuvres here. We'll see whether that comes back to bite me. I've held still with my villagers and my archers, but brought the men-at-arms in, and the king has decided to hold back as his Pegasus Knights have for some reason flapped off into the distance. So we'll see how effective that is, whether they can do any outflanking. They're nice and fast. I did shoot with my archers and they did 4 damage to the plague monks, who only have defense 3 because they're wearing rags.
Yes.
Okay, so it's back over to Wayne now for his turn.
Okay, so I've moved units up. I couldn't cast any spells because I was not in range or had units in the way.
I can see the teeny tiny little bit between the two.
I'm not going to be that guy. What I have done though is my master assassin was in the woods, right by the Pegasus Knights, which I'd forgotten about. That Paul pointed out that he was hiding there, so I've charged him into the flank of the Pegasus Knights, and I have done 2 wounds.
Did you do double attacks?
Yes, I did. Yeah, but because I ran through the woods, I was -1 to hit because I was hindered. You need to do a nerve check. Was it worth doing a nerve check, or does it not matter?
It may matter. Let's have a look. So they are, 12 and 14.
So I'll roll that.
Yeah, you roll it.
So I need a 10 or more. No, roll a 6.
So they're fine.
They're fine. And everything else is advanced up, and I've kind of because Skaven is so brave, I've moved the Globadiers away. Okay.
So it moves in. We're moving into turn 3. Okay, so that turn went as well as it could do for me. So what I've done is I moved the knights up onto the hill here, and my other knight unit charged. I did a little bit more damage in shooting with the peasants who have just stood still, trying to sort of goad him in really. My knight and my hero on Pegasus have gone in and wiped out a unit of plague monks, and I got rid of the annoying little assassin with my Pegasus knights. They managed to polish him off. So they're on 2 damage, but they are quite fragile, interestingly enough. But that's gone as well as it can do for me. Let's see what the counter hit is like.
I think I might struggle here because it's range. So normally I take kind of Giselles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So normally there's that kind of range where you can chip away at stuff. But I've got a few spells. I've got a couple of spells I could do, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so my turn. I've the wizard has moved, the warlock's moved and cast lightning bolt. The globadiers have moved up and thrown a load of poison wind globes, and the fire thrower has opened fire all on the hero here. They've done a total of 7 damage.
Yeah.
He is now wavering.
Yeah. So that means he can't do anything particularly from that
he can,
next turn.
I think he can about face or move backwards, but all halt. Well, that's about it. The clan rats have gone for the sort of Hail Mary of trying to get rid of the knights in their flank. 30 attacks in the flank, but they're hitting on 5s, so I only did 3 damage in the end, and the knights were fine. They passed their test. They passed the nerve test. And that is my turn done.
Okay. So moving into turn 4, it's a 6-turn game, and we roll to see if there's a 7th turn. So Wayne is in possession of the centre of the battlefield, even though he's feeling a bit sad at the moment.
Oh, also, before I cast weakness from my plague priest onto the king, and he is -1 to hit in this turn only.
Okay, so I've gone a bit all in this turn. So my Pegasus Knights have gone into the flank of this clan rat unit, and then the King's decided to go right into the front of them as well. My Knights have turned and counter-charged the clan rats over here, and my other Knights have wandered off to kind of do the same sort of flanking manoeuvres over there, and I've just held back here. So I'm going to shoot in and then shoot into the same unit, and then see whether I can clear off some units with combat.
Just going to straighten these up, because at the moment you're showing me a flank, when actually if you're right, you're showing me the front with him.
Okay. Okay, so very interesting turn. Wayne is very much still in it. So my knights over on the far side that you can just about see beyond the trees here, they turned and finished off that clan rat unit, which is what we expected. But even though I got into the flank here, because of the terrain, because of the weakness, etc., my king didn't do that much after they did quite a lot of damage. They did 9 damage.
9 from the Pegasus
9
Knights?
from the Pegasus Knights and only 1 from the king.
Yep.
So you can pat your guy on the back that did the spell on him.
Yeah.
So they're still there. That big unit's still there, and I think that's quite key because he's pinned me in place there now. So and I did a bit of damage again, just popped off a couple more wins on that central objective, but time is running out, so that's my turn 4. Move this where we can actually see it. Okay, so that's turn 4, and it's now moving into Wayne's turn 4.
Okay, so I've turned to countercharge the Pegasus Knights. The king then gets nudged out of combat. I was going to charge the Doom Wheel into the king, but then that would result in a corner charge, and in these rules you can't corner charge. It has to be, you have to have some of the face in the model to do it. So I've just moved the Doom Wheel up into a better position. Plague Monks are staying where they are because they want to keep hold of the Warpstone, and they're not going to let the dirty Bretonnians have it. These units, so the Warlock, the Globadier and the Warp Flamethrower, have just kind of separated a bit just to create multiple targets, with the aim of actually getting rid of 1 or maybe 2 of the units, this Knight unit and this hero. The Lord, my Warlord has gone in on the Pegasus Knights as well. Okay, so the wizard threw lightning bolt into the knights, did a little bit of damage. The Globadiers then threw a load of poison wind Globadiers, so they're on 6 damage in total now, and they passed their nerve check with flying colours. The flamethrower then opened fire into the Lord on the Pegasus Knight and toasted him. He's now there was a big barbecued Pegasus there. Then the clan rats in the combat phase and the Warlord went in, and they did a total of 7 damage, and the Pegasus Knights are now wavered. So not bad, you know. I was hoping to do a bit more damage on the Knights and hopefully waver them, but yeah.
I've got to now try and get into the centre of the battlefield. So
yes,
that'll be the interesting bit, how I'm going to do that, because your flank is holding quite well at the moment. Right. Okay, so it's all starting to close in now. I've charged this unit over here, the Globadiers, with these knights. I couldn't charge that individual there because it wasn't in the charge arc, so they're just turned and gone close to him, so they haven't charged. I've put a couple of tempters in here for the unit in the middle, so if he doesn't come for me next turn, I'll go for him. My archers are just going to stand and keep peppering away. The king has gone into the flank to hopefully do something against those. It's a counter charge, so it doesn't get hindered. Wayne realised he hadn't cast weakness, but I offered and he said no. It got forgotten, so therefore that's part of the game.
Part of the game.
So
the knights counter charged. Oh no, they
They
can't.
can't because
They're
they're
wavered.
wavered.
Yeah.
So I've decided to just stand them still.
Okay.
So
that wouldn't be a counter charge then. That's just a normal charge.
It's just a normal charge. In which case it is hindered then. Yeah.
Yes.
Because he became disengaged. Didn't he? Yeah. So you're right. So it is hindered. Right. Okay. So I'm going to do some shooting and then see if I can clear off some more of these units. Right, so the combat phase has gone according to plan. I pinged a couple more wounds off this unit in the middle with the shooting. The knights over here have cleared away those globadiers and are looking at the back of that unit. And then my king did his job that turn and wiped out that clan rat unit. Just
bang on 21.
Bang on.
Yeah.
I had to re-roll for inspiring and only just did it.
And I had rallying 1 as well.
Yeah.
Made you do, and I was inspiring. Made you do the re-roll.
Yeah.
And it was bang on.
It was bang on. So, right. So this now moves into Wayne's turn 5.
So what I've decided to do, because it's my turn 5, but obviously Paul's turn 6 next. So what I'm planning to do is that turn 6 is hopefully going to be Paul's last turn, and we won't get an extra turn. So I've used my army. So the warp flying thrower has kind of moved to block this knight charge. 2 heroes have charged into the Pegasus Knights to hopefully break them. The Doom Wheel has gone into the King. I can't do anything about the units coming into the front of the Plague Monk, but that's still better than having the Knights in the rear. The tricky decision I've got now is with the shooting. If I destroy this unit that's blocked, this unit then has a much more viable charge. With that being clear, so well, let's see what happens. Okay, so I threw the lightning bolts and the warp fire thrower shots and magic into the knight unit that was here, and as you can see, I've destroyed that unit. The 2 characters, so the warlord and the plague priest, were fighting the Pegasus Knights, and they did enough damage to destroy the Pegasus Knights. And then the Doom Wheel went in and actually did 5 damage on the king. And I needed a double 6 to waver him, but I only rolled 7. So the king is fine. So now it's turn 6.
Turn 6. Okay, just done that movement and didn't record it, but it's fairly easy to see what happened. I've charged everyone in to the Plague Monks that I can in the middle. The Monarchs countercharged the Doom Wheel, and my Knights have charged this poor little flamethrower in the side. And we'll see whether it happens now. Okay, so no shooting, straight into combats. So we'll do the.
I need you to whiff him majestically.
So King has got 10 attacks.
Yep.
This is counter charge, so he doesn't get the hindered. So he will be hitting on 3s. And then wounding on 2s. So that's 6 damage.
6 damage. Ouch. Okay. 6 damage on the impaler. Okay. You need a 10 plus.
So
6 damage.
right. So then we'll do the knights.
Yep.
So they're hitting you in the flank, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's like 32 attacks.
I mean, see how many he's got.
So, the big one. So let's do the peasantry first.
So I think the peasants, I think, because they
right, bowmen just get their normal 10 attacks, hitting on 5s.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So 4, your defense 3, aren't you?
3, yeah.
So 2 so far. So that's good. Anything off the bowmen. Right, the villagers. So they are 12 attacks for a regiment. Hitting on 5s. They've gone crazy.
So the plague pots would have
Really
been
nice.
hitting 6s, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So
So you've got 3 more.
3 more, yeah.
Yeah. And then the foot guard they hit on 3s. They have 12 attacks hitting on 3s.
Okay.
Yeah, that would
So
have
that would
been
have been
4s.
4s, yeah. Would have been massive.
However, got 2 more. So only 5 through. So another 4.
Oh, 4. So it's 18. Right. Let's build this up. So 18, and I am, as a horde, I am just 22. So you need to roll
Here we go.
above 3.
I haven't rolled my double 1 yet.
Above 3.
3.
3, I'm alright. So, oh no, I said 18, didn't I? No, I'm not alright. What, 18,
21.
20,
Yeah, it's
21, 22.
22 I've got to get. So there you go. He's still there.
It's still there. Oh, is that recording?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely. No, I've turned it off. Right, fantastic.
But you could get another turn yet.
Yeah, well, I think that.
And actually, unit strength, you might have it anyway.
Well, I'm not all in contact with it though.
Oh yeah, that's probably because I moved on to it, didn't I?
I would say my militia mob are, and I don't know if they've got any unit strength at all.
Okay.
Right, Wayne's 10-6.
Okay, I'm gonna countercharge the militia mob,
So nudge these.
so they disengaged. The Doom Wheel will have another crack at the king.
Okay.
And countercharge there. These two guys are idiots, because what they should have done is that they should have, after they
should have
killed,
turned.
they should have turned and faced. So yes,
I think you can though with individuals. You can turn at the start of a turn and charge.
can you?
Right, we will look that up.
Let's look that up, because if I can, that'd be great.
Look up individuals. Okay.
So I can pivot before I issue an order. So what I'll do is I'll pivot this dude, and then I'll issue a charge order to go there, and then I'll pivot
Do the same with
this
the-
dude,
Yeah.
and I'll issue a charge order to go there. Right, King, you're going down. And then obviously I've done a counter charge on them. Yeah. Okay.
Are you doing anything with the guy at the back?
He is going to, because they've not taken any damage yet, have they?
No.
So he is going to fire some warp lightning goodness into them.
Okay.
And he's going to stay there because he's thinking this battle's going bad. You know, at least I'm near the table edge, I can run off.
He's calling in for the North hole to be opened up.
Right. Okay. So, so let's go with. Oh, and I am also activating my plague pots.
Right. So that will make me -1 to hit my turn.
So in your turn, anything that is in combat with me on the next turn. This is on the plague monks. -1. -1 to hit. Okay. Okay. So warp lightning. 2. And then it's piercing 1, so 4s. Oh, 2. 2 damage. Will a double 6 get me anywhere?
It will waver them.
Okay. So this is important then. Yeah. So need a double 6. This could be very important actually. Ooh. No.
Double 5.
Double 5. Not enough.
Wavering them would have been crucial if it had been turn 7.
Okay, so so got a little bit of damage. Okay, so I'm going to start with combat-wise. I'm going to
It's on 13.
Okay. I'll do his nerve check. 13 goes to 20.
So 20. So the general, the monarch, is gone. Please re-roll that. Oh,
he's really gone.
Yeah.
It's been absolute bloodbath, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing how it gets going.
Okay, plague monks. 30 attacks. 5. Okay, I'll roll this twice.
So this is the big one.
This is the big one. So the plague monks, so crushing strength 1. So, and they are hitting on 3s. So, oh. So what's that? 12. (13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. I'll do 15 and then 6. Crushing strength 1.
So 2s.
2. Okay. So 2. That's all of them. So that's 15. And then
another 6.
16, 17, 18, 19.
19 wounds?
19 wounds.
Right. Double 1 then.
Oh, that's the one.
Smashed through them.
Yeah, they got the 3s. They got the 3s mainly to hit, but obviously they got the 3s defense, so they hit hard, but they die quick.
Yeah. I think it all is going to depend on whether
Next
there's another turn.
Yeah. So let's just say that the plague monks are blissfully unaware in their frenzied state of the knights even being behind them, and they're just picking up warpstone and trying to get away.
Okay, so it's now the roll to see if there's another turn.
So on a 1, 2, 3,
the North hole opens and you disappear with the warpstone.
With the warpstone, and then you can cry over your dead king and carry him back to the throne. Okay. It's a 2. So
a North hole opens underneath the centre of the battlefield, and the plague monks gleefully
scurry
into the North hole with their prize.
Yes.
And a win. a scraped to win.
That was awesome. That was so close.